Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of This is not Tell Me I'm the Greatest. So yeah, we are here. Alrighty, guys. So I don't really know how many people I'm gonna get and how fast, but it is my live stream that I do occasionally. And here we are today, gonna talk about a couple of things. What's going on in life? There's a tournament and a Superman, not a tournament, but there's this big Super Match card, and I have a Super Match this weekend, this Saturday, and Travis Bagent's coming February 1st too, and we're gonna do another tournament, and I mean a bunch of little things that happen, I guess, around the world, right? Yes, no. So let's talk about this. I realized. Usually, I guess I do podcasts talking, just talking, right, about an event, and I still don't have a name. And I think the names have came by, and like we have some good ideas, but today is Arms and Dewzzle, episode 4, because it's my fourth live stream on this channel. Not really sure. Was trying to go for like my favorite items, right, like Korean barbecue. Don't really, I mean, I like Dew, but I'm more of a Coke guy nowadays. I'm growing. I'm growing on you people. What's going on? Not the first ever live. I beat the Drew only because he hit the like first. What's going on, my dudes? I guess as usual, the comments on one of the things. All right. Well, anyway, let's get more energized, right? So, like I said, guys, this weekend there's a tournament. Not a tournament. Once again, I'm making a mistake. It's a Super Match card with a bunch of little things happening. So let me talk to you about it. What's that? What do you know, Benji? Let's talk about this little card that we got going on. So shout out to Mike Katoya, Mike doing this tournament. Event. It's not a tournament, it's an event. This is his technically it's his third event. He did two before at two different locations, and he's coming back to the first original location with a bigger card and a bigger crowd. So we're gonna see how it's gonna turn out. Every time I've been to Mike's event, it's been fun. It's new. There's definitely um a lot of stuff that you could gonna you know I guess what am I trying to say? You're gonna toggle it as you kind of as things come across. So things are in progress. However, everything's fun. So Mike got a bunch of supermarkets going on, and there's a four-way, and if I'm correct on a four-way, I think it's left-handed, and I think it's Brita. Hold on, am I correct? I think Brida's in it, Dylan is in it, Brandon Williamson's in it, and then I think Trevin Work was in it too. Maybe Trevor Term was here. So, huh? Oh, is Brandon not in it? The thing is it Brandon and Josh have a super match, and it's this four. I think it's this four: Brita, Trevin, Grundy, and Williamson. So this four, I think they're in the left-handed um four-way. Brita is clearly the favorite. He's actually number one guy, I think, left-handed, always been. If it's the way it is. Brad doesn't have the left hand. Trevin, I've heard good things. Dylan is also just trying it out. So we're gonna see. I mean, Dylan is not bad power-wise. Not sure about Trevin. Know that Rita is an animal left-handed, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna be the favorite unless something changes. So there's a bunch of matches. I guess if they all align correctly, I guess like Mike, you're gonna pull Francisco. Um, looks like Bob Savick. No, that's not Bob Savick. That's Bob Savick. See, Bob Savick is here. I think Bob's pulling Mike Toya. Okay. We got Goose. Goose is pulling Craig. I got you. I see how it is. And obviously you got me, and I'm pulling Max. We'll talk about Max, but dude, guys, can you talk about Jordan Landry Paulo Antonio Gralski. I've talked about this before. I made the whole video. I'm making stories today on my Instagram. Because yeah, Jordan is going heavy on Antonio, and Antonio replying back. And it seems like both guys think they're gonna win. And that's something that some people don't really talk about, and it's kind of a new subject that really came out last year. Then the more East versus West in core sport were trying to promote the cards, and they kept talking to the athletes, and one of the meetings, Don Indris said something, which I think I've heard that, so maybe it's just a misquote on a misquote, but I'm pretty sure there's a video of that too. I'm pretty sure Don said something. It's like you guys are afraid to tell the world that you arm wrestling. And that is true for a lot of cases. In a lot of what am I trying to say? Cases when you are, and you see it with Jordan and Antonio, you can kind of see that both guys thinking they're gonna win, right? Because when you don't think you're gonna win and you are a underdog who got himself to the match, you're gonna be forced to be a little quiet if you don't know, if you're not careful. If you're truly like a little bit scared and you're not sure the results, you wanna talk about the results. You wanna talk about that you won that match, right? You kind of too afraid to tell people to go follow you, to go watch you on that day, because things might not go too well. And that's very interesting. And um that's something really like that's what I'm saying. People haven't really talked about this before, but you can see it in the matches if one person thinks he's gonna win and if it's not. Even though we're talking about two people that maybe um never really arm wrestle each other, so they don't even know the gauge. But if you're a confident dude and you think you're gonna win, you can talk about that. And I mean, maybe like if that's not your style, maybe you're not. But if you're the guy that have been talking about matches, and all of a sudden you stopped updating people on your training, on your this and this and this, you might think you're gonna lose that match, and it's not pretty. So, and that's why I called out Jordan today because Jordan is funny. Jordan being aggressive, Jordan being like getting the best out of Antonio. And that's what called him out. Will he be just as mysteriously funny, right? Because his jokes are like deep. They're like, you don't know what's coming. There's like this big assumption, there's big build-up, right? And it's interesting to witness, but I wonder if you're going to create the same build-up that you're going to anticipate when you think things might not go too well. And this is where it's big shout out to Devin, right? Devin is the type of guy, I've said it before, who is a perfect underdog. And I think because he believes. And I think there's rarely he'll accept the match that's super hard that he doesn't have that belief, right? Where he gets crazy when you tell him that Levon, he can do such and such shit thing to Levon. Like you see Devin, like his face change, his videos become more aggressive, more like he's annoyed, right? So he's buying himself as an underdog and he's selling it all to us as well. So um yeah, interesting to witness along the way. Drop the video you pulling Auden. Please ask Jody Larrett to drop the only footage that she has, I'm pretty sure, of me and Auden arm wrestling. I'll gladly share that clip. I'll make it viral. I'll post it on my Instagram. That's the only footage I think we have. And I'm so glad because I'm pretty sure I look amazing. So thank you for reminding me of that. Auden, please call your mom. I need some videos. Yuna, far right street corner, Artem. Oh, well, yeah, I'm still sharing, I guess. I'm sorry. Um, what's going on, Mr. Phil Woody? How you doing? So, yeah, guys, we're gonna have this fun event this Saturday. Once again, like I said, Mike Katoy been putting in great work in. I am arm wrestling Maxim Copperman. And couple things to be said about the match. Max is, I think, a little bit bigger of a guy. I think he used to be smaller, but being Russian and going through 13 puberties and shit, you eventually become like, hey, I'm Max. I'm 17 years old. So I think Max is like maybe 210, 215, a little bit bigger guy. I think is he younger? I think he is. Yeah, man, guys. I don't want to talk about this. So it is 2025, and I'm gonna turn 30 this year, and this is not fun. I thought it would be fun. But another day I was in the store asking for ID. I'm like, yo, I'm about to be. Oh, even those jokes are like not even fun anymore. So, if your age starts with with a three or any number above that, please talk to me. Let me know how it feels. Is the life really over? So anyway, yeah, I think Maxim is a little younger than me, a little old younger than me. I combined two words at the same time. Anyway, should be a good match. I was really trying to have a match at Mike's event. I'll be a little bit honest about this. Like I see Mike's event, I'm like, man, everything looks fun. I like the crowd. I feel like I've talked about this to myself before. Whenever I see something like this, I feel like I need to be part of that and I need to help them out and just with my humble presence of me having a match. Because I think like in the proper circumstances, I have created fun. So I think if you can give me more control of such circumstances, I can create more fun. So with that being said, kept that in my mind. Mike reached out if I do want to be in his next event, and I wanted to. So, with that being said, we slowly found Max to arm wrestle, and Max was down, and I think it was really it. Like we were trying to find somebody that we can have fun with, and maybe not necessarily too crazy. However, Max's case is a little bit different because Max is in a similar weight realm. Like I think he also likes the left hand a little bit more than the right hand. So I think he's one of the dudes who like maybe have extra interest in having a match with me, having a match left-handed. So all of that will actually work out. So I am planning to beating everything living and not living out of Max, 100%. I don't think my shape is not peaked out for that thing. I'm training right now. As you guys can see, uh, my performance is not that bad. Like I'm getting some wins here and there that I haven't gotten before, some comebacks. So my overall shape is there. It's not the best right now. Like a little elbows a little sore, wrist a little sore. I'm like working out. Like usually the best shape is like I'm more more ready, more rested. However, everything should be good. So Max, if you're watching this, don't get too excited. I will hook you. I will topple you. I will side pressure you. I will probably do whatever I want to do. And yeah, and we'll see how it plans out. The problem is, though, I think Max, with what I just said, with Max having that extra interest, I think the life might give him an opportunity to where he's like, he may be a little too hard that day. And I may be a little bit trouble because that's me basically giving Max a little bit of his flowers that he is strong. And I don't know, this could be a fun little thing. I'm talking about, hey guys, come watch me, and then it can quickly become an experience I don't want to bring up ever again, right? If Max beat the shit out of me. Because I've been everywhere. I've been on both of the things. I've been taking things slow and chilling, like, oh yeah, let's collect the W, and then the W turns into a year long of like, yo, why did I do this? Artem, you don't look a day over 35. Well, fuck, great. I'm not even 35, so thank you for saying that. God damn, I don't. Thank you for a compliment and a roast, Mr. Drew. Fuck, out of people that I've never met, Drew, I didn't know you will have told me that. I actually met you. I thought you were a decent guy, and now you're saying that I don't look a day over 35. Well, thank you, because I'm not 35, and if I did, that would have been terrible. 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 So, yeah, guys, gonna beat the hell out of Max almost just as bad as I'm gonna beat the hell out of Auden whenever that comes along. So, um, yeah, that's it for this Saturday, I think. Like I said, I can talk about Jordan and Antonio for so long. I hope Antonio doesn't, both of them don't fumble the day off, right? Because the build up been great. The match can go pretty bad. And then, so one of the interesting things that I've been reading since we announced this February 1st, me and Travis Bagent. Well, Travis is coming down to Florida, and if you guys been following along, you know how Travis operates. If Travis is coming to your town, there's most likely going to be a tournament. And with that being said, we are hosting King of Duel Armwrestling tournament on February 1st, 2025 at Strings Sport Brewery right there on Main Street. If you are from Jacksonville, you know what I'm talking about. Pretty big place. They have a nice parking that they get to use on Saturdays, so don't you guys worry about coming there. And it's being kind of a sort of an it's not in downtown, but it is in this busy area to like, oh, where you park, there's parking. So something I want to talk to you guys about. And if you have been watching, if you've been part of me and Travis's tournament, if you have watched our podcast together, you have seen this flyer before. And then what I'm talking about the times. I'm talking about weigh-ins kind of late, event starts also late. Event starts at 6:30 o'clock at night. And in our Jackson group chat, we had a person who was like, not sure and was like kind of was replying to what he was reading, which I understand. This is something, if you have not seen it before, it may be a little bit weird. However, I guess we've done like more than five of those at least, and I don't know how many Travis have done, and never really seen that concern. But it's interesting that it is, and we can talk about this. So. And it can go even deeper about hosting tournaments, right? Because a lot of people want to host a tournament, a lot of people do host a tournament, and they want to host just another tournament, right? And what I mean by another tournament is just another tournament is like you come there, the weigh-ins are a whole morning. The event starts at let's say 12, 1 o'clock. It ends at maybe 6, 7, sometimes late. You get your trophies, then there's after pool, right? Like you're not, you left your house at 9, 10 in the morning, you're not home until 9 o'clock probably, right? If you stuck to the whole event, you're after pool, all the good stuff. This is your regular event. The sizes of them changes due to people coming in, how much money you throwing out yourself, what are the referees, and blah blah blah. So those tournaments usually not fun, right? Like I said, they're fun if the people are coming over there and if you maybe have great amount of money coming in, right? And you are running it super smooth. Usually when you are a guy that's watching this thing and you're about to throw your first tournament, you picking up that strategy, you making another tournament. Sometimes they're fun, sometimes they are the most boring things you can ever be a part of. Majority of them are, right? So with that being said, this is Travis's tournament, Travis's format, right? I'm here doing the flyers, and really nobody wants to take responsibility of who's actual name behind it, but we always do the things together. And seeing Travis do these tournaments like that starting 6:30, they are because they are run by Travis himself. They're super fun and they're super efficient. So if you're coming to this tournament we're going to put on February 1st, you're not going to be there all night long. The event going to end before 9 o'clock, even though it starts at 6:30. Like it's going to be run. I mean, it's going to be run the way it's going to be run, but just knowing the style of how Trevor does thing, it's going to be smooth, it's going to be fast, and everybody going to have a really great time. And this is something people usually don't do at our wrestling tournament because it's long, you're waiting, all that stuff. I've witnessed enough of Travis Bagent work on how to make and how to create a pretty cool experience during the wrestling tournament, which we're still not there just yet. However, if all you guys that have made the tournament will have made it in this format, make it a little later, make it more efficient. Oh man, tournaments can be so much smoother. It's so much more fun. So that's why, I mean, I'll use it as a clip, I think, in the future. However, guys, if you are not sure about coming or not on our tournament February 1st at late time because you think it's gonna end later or you don't really know, you're gonna have the best time. If you have been to 10 arm wrestling tournaments before, 20, 30, I know if you have been to a couple, right, and you had different experiences, that's the one you must be at to make sure that you are going to get. Well, I mean, you're gonna get a proper experience. Like seeing Travis's tournaments really made me feel guilty being part of anything longer and more boring and whatever the usually case is. So super excited about Travis coming over and excited about creating this tournament in our area because we haven't really had those things in Florida like that. All our events, we have different stuff. We have done, I'm pretty sure Florida even had sit downs. We have triple elimination, double eliminations, tournaments for this people, for that people. Like we have different type of stuff. We rarely really had a fast pace, officially good tournament, right? We had big ones. We never really had anything like that, I don't think. So if you don't know what to do with yourself on the February 1st in Florida, and if you happen to be on northeast side of state, please do come over. Or I mean, that's my suggestion. Actually, we should have good amount of people. I'm not really here like to like, you must come. Like, if you never really had good fun in arm wrestling tournament, that's the tournament to be at. I guarantee you. Especially if you're the guy that's looking to potentially host some things sometime somewhere. Man, what an yeah, great opportunity to learn from Travis all around. I'm sorry for this like glazing. However, like if you're an arm wrestler connoisseur, and by that I mean like an activist, to where like you want to do something, whatever it is, you want to be the ref, you want to be the promoter, you want to be well arm wrestler that does something extra than just arm wrestlers. Watching Travis do stuff is pretty good experience. Artem, at least when you're 45, you'll still look 35, most likely. Man, Drew, that's two misses for me now, man. That's two misses. You went 2 for 2. You tried two jokes. They all made me felt and look older, and I don't appreciate those. When is your next match with Lefty? Dino 3343 is asking. Like I was saying, me and Max are pulling this Saturday, and it is a left-handed match. And if you don't think that's something mega serious, then maybe not. I'm not sure. Not sure about maybe pull somebody small also at the February 1st thing, but nothing, man. No, not like not like a huge underdog super match just yet. There's Arnold Classic I need to pay for and to learn the date so I can go there. But that's the plan. Like not like I've been saying before, nothing really, not like a good super match plan. Want to go to a tournament, want to see myself out there, want to make my goals more clear, probably, right? My placing became more clear, right? Like my right hand finally shut up to the place I think it's supposed to be. Left is up there too. So getting more clear standings of where I'm at, like weight wise. Um, yeah, just a couple more readings, I guess, and we'll see. Hopefully, I mean, we'll obviously pull audit, but I think it's more right-handed than left-handed thing. Um, Call 1 years, 130 pound side pressure PR. Come on, man, quit doing this curls and get those numbers up. Yeah, but call 1 years. I'm not like I don't know who you are, right? However, 130 pound side pressure is like elite number in America, right? So I'm just learning something another. Well, I kind of had this theory before about side pressure, which you know what? Fuck it, let's talk about side pressure. Let's talk about side pressure and the weights. Because I there's so many people have talked about my side pressure numbers. and they assume my separation numbers and all the good stuff to where like my side pressure should be more in the weight than it is, and like, and I've seen assumptions. Hear them. I see people do crazy weights. I see people post doing 200 pound side pressure and all that stuff. And you look down, you break it down. Sometimes, yeah, people just mention you the actual, like the raw number of the weight, right? Like whatever the weight is on there, that's the side pressure, like 200 pounds, 300 pounds. I've seen questionable scale readings, right? I've seen clean lifts, worse lift is different weights. And what I realized about side pressure and like trying to match each other weight on the internet, that will not work. That does not work at all. Like I have my pulley. I have my pulley that I've been training on for a long time. I know every time once it gets to 90 pounds to 100 pounds, that shit is not movable. It's hard to move. The traction becomes too heavy. You really need to bypass that initial couple inches. Then you can do maybe something about that, right? But doing 110, 120 on that thing is impossible. You need to be so much stronger to pull that weight off of there, right? Then later on, I switched to the pool that I'm working out on right now in the shop that you guys see on Instagram. That get 100 gets in there pretty easy. It's a single pulley. It's the way that it is, and it's heavy. It's still heavy, but I can do hundreds. I've touched 110s in there. Like they're been movable, like up, down. Like I've done it all. Another day at my buddy's Craig's house, I did couple reps on his pull, and like where it was time wise in a week, I was thinking, you know what? Today's a good max effort day. We can go bang, we can go for the higher numbers, right? So I'm there with Craig. I'm working with his pull. He has a scale. We check on the scale how clean it is and what the numbers are, right? So we get a clean reading every time. And I'm starting with like 60 pounds, 70, like by the time we got to 100 pounds, like it was good. Like 100 pounds felt good. I did 110. I did the next thing, which was like 124 pounds. Also smooth. We got the reading. That's the way that I'm lifting. But man, I think it's more of a how smooth it actually went, how easy to play. The difference, like that smoothness in the traction does a lot. So now I feel like, I mean, there's a number, like there's probably like a 20 pound, 25 pound number that you are around, like, right? So like if you're thinking you're separate, or I don't know, there could be some crazy parts, right? Like, but if if everything is all accurate, and I think my side pressure is 100 pounds and you think it's 125, it's you. I think we all like mine also either 100 to 125. Yours either depends. You can be 100, I mean 150. But I think that there's 25 pounds of play because the traction is never the same, the vector angle never always the same, the cable is never the same, the thickness of the handle is never the same, the roller is never the same. So don't care if you are. That's what I'm saying. I don't care if there's a weight scale or not. Like I think there's this traction on how smooth your pulley is matters a lot, and therefore we're gonna get different numbers on different pulleys. So that's why if you really want to compare where your side pressure is at, you have to compete on the same pulleys, right? Like the day when I did 110 pound side pressure, Michael Todd was at my gym at that time, and I'm pretty sure I heard he was not like lifting those weights because, and I think Michael's side pressure is, I mean, obviously it's bigger than mine, feeling wise, right? But it's not the same machine that he's used to. It's not the same, like nothing is the same. So, and I'm not stronger than Michael Todd. However, that's my machine, and I got used to that, and it's heavy in its own way. So, yeah, Cole, on yours, all that to say, your comment is trash. This is really what I was getting to. Fuck you and your 130 pounds side pressure. I'm trying to make a side pressure machine with a 24-inch frame to translate directly to uh foot and pound torque. That's why I use pilot wheel jack burns to keep efficiency. Do any of these pulleys use synthetic 12 string cable or steel cable? I'm using Benson and wall mount different points and still the side pressure machine seems really good. Side pressure machines are fun because they're dummy proof. A lot of harder to fall out position of cable versus a cable. Yeah. Yeah, create a monster in one lane. The pulley I have on my cable is shit and adds extra 6 pound resistance. With that being said, my buddy Mike is now buying. If Hey, call one yours. You'll know what I'm talking about. You know that Travis talked about that he has another side pressure machine at his buddy's house that's not painted yet, and he needs to get rid of it. So my buddy Mike is helping him to get rid of it. So we are getting the same side pressure machine Travis has. So and I was telling Travis like, yo, we're finally gonna. So me and Travis now gonna be able to maybe kind of sort of match those things to where Travis was like, well, I mean, you kind of seem like you figured out on your thing. I'm like, yeah, yeah, but still a little bit different. Like, I like what did I like today? I seen Brian Shaw doing that side pressure thing on his Instagram, and man, like, uh, was interesting to watch it because it all of a sudden makes it looks like that side pressure table machine exercise is like a piece of equipment. Like if you were to go to I don't know, give me I don't know a calf raise. Give me like some type of biceps machine, right? A machine, right? To where you'll go and maybe do some nonchalant stuff, right? You may go warm up on it, you may do a couple reps in it, you go commit to it, or whatever it is. That was interesting to watch how that machine is like, yeah, it's a legit piece of equipment. Like you're saying, like there's not much to mess around, there's not much you can like it's dummy proof, right? You go, you use side pressure, and if you don't know how, you don't know where, that machine is most likely is teaching you to go sideways. So, and it's harder to cheat because the machine does one thing, right? On a free pulley in the tables, you can do whatever you want and think it's a side pressure, versus on the pulley on the actual side pressure machine, I think that forces you to do the thing. So there's a little bit of benefit of that. But all that to say is we are getting one in the shop, and I'm excited. I'm gonna give it a try. Like I'm not the after I started to do side pressure, I I'm entertaining more side pressure rather than I'm like deleting more, right? Right? Like I discover side pressure, I'm gonna do it like that. Like no, 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 no. I'm doing the side pressure, and now I'm discovering more ways to do the same motion for my body to understand it, right? Like free pulley is one thing, right? I do that. I went and I purchased the table attachment from Lucas Raymond. So Lucas got me a pulley that goes directly on the thing. A little bit different. I like how Travis does his thing with rubber bands, to where you just run a rubber band through the peg, and it's there's you get the direct pressure all the time. A little bit different, still sideways, and increases as you go down. That's another thing. So now, like thing number four that I'm going to mention is we're now going to get to the side table machine scenario. So that's another thing, and now that one, I think you can't really do a lot of like actual side pressure like Todd will do, right? Like to where we're going sideways, but you can now pivot and it helps you create the like more circle motion, right? Also side pressure. So, um, man, yeah, there's different ways to train the side pressure, and I'm not against none of them. What are some of your favorite lifts in the gym? Yeah, they have double wheel machine, the pec deck, chest flies, shoulder very similar mechanics to side pressure machine. Yeah, yeah, uh-huh. I agree. I feel safer going for 1 hour lower. Like, yeah, yeah. I can see that. I can see that for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Especially with the way you see with the way Travis does his stuff, like where he protects it with his shoulder and he kind of gets it in there. different way to even set it off, right? To where you feel safer too. So, all right, well, let's answer Austin Webb's comment. What are some of your favorite lifts in the gym? Hmm, man, I don't know. I like all the lifts. Can we be more specific? Like general gym lifts, I like your basic, right? I like your basic trios, right? I do my benches, deadlifts, squats, a fan of those. Um, biceps curls, right? Like I don't know. I feel like I do the same stuff, so I shouldn't be the loosey goosey, but I do basic stuff for everything, like legs, I do squats and a couple of machines. Bench, I do bench, and occasionally I'll do a pec deck here and there just to entertain it. But my bench is narrow, so it's like this. Come off for my elbows. That's why I have a bird chest. So side pressure like that. Then if I did bench press, then I'm gonna do some triceps. Triceps most likely some type of pull down on the cable. I'll find the heavier cable that we have because the gym is fairly the tricep stuff getting fairly light. So, but the couple machines is kind of very hard to move. Occasionally, I'll do a kickback, right? Same thing with the triceps with a with a dumbbell or like a school crushers too with a pretty good weight. I think that's what my triceps routine. A couple exercises like that. Then for the biceps, I do my easy bicep curls. I occasionally will do hammer curl, and I'll just bicep curl with a dumbbell, preacher or not. That's it. And I think it's all for the basic, right? And then the rest is like arm wrestling. Right? For the pronation, I do my free weight stuff, and then the rest is on the table. I think whatever, like everything else is on the table. Well, no, I guess for the back, if it's not a deadlift and it's a row of some kind, like I would like to row with a dumbbell or with I'm a big fan actually of the thing I think Lachlan popularized those in my opinion, the end of the bar row. So I used to do just for the wrist curls, but now I'm actually rolling the whole thing. So I really like that as my basic back exercise, right? Like it's a lot of weight, right? You get to load 45, another 45. So you get to work with a good weight and it's the handle is big, it's keep rolling out. So it's a very complex exercise for as an arm wrestling base. So uh, yeah, and a bunch of rollings. I like to roll. I don't know, Austin, if you can be a little more specific. So, because I do the same thing and just like I'm here mentioning everything pretty much. Um, I'm doing 45 to 50 pounds side pressure. I'm awesome, I know. Josh, you got this, brother. Your machine may be so heavy to where that's all you can do. Because that's what I was saying earlier. Like, dude, some machines, 60 pounds, it's the closer to an end. Some machines, 60 pounds, like, all right, it's the first good set. Like, I don't know. Going to failure of RMPs isn't a must-have either. Do what's comfy. Um, what's RMP? Rep max pump? Going to failure of range max personals? Percentage of going to failure of rep max percentage in the matter with do what's comfy. Okay, we can talk about that, guys. Who is here likes to go to failure and who is not? Do you like Devon's pronation bend lift with the thumb contractions? Oh, we talking about that? Yeah. I did that the other day. I found it pretty interesting how Devin is saying that I think the end of the end of the thumb here is the end of the pronation move, technically, right? That's really where the pronation ends. So I did that, but I'm not. I don't. I don't. I mean, it's tiny detail, tiny detail. Like if you have time, I guess why not, right? Uh, but yes. So man, so. I actually, so I don't do failures. I haven't done failures in forever, right? Like if I do fail, like it's very like not planned. I don't have failures. I don't really train till failure, right? Um, yeah, I don't, well, fuck, what Darius is saying about doing what's comfy. So it's not really about doing what's comfy or going to failure and all that. In my opinion, I like what Todd Hutchings does, for example, right? Where it's the conjugate system, where you're just throwing everything in there and some of this should work, right? Like something should work for you, right? The volume work, the max effort work, and all that. Something to the bulletproof in arm wrestling scheme of things, right? Where it's a bunch of theories, but I think in arm wrestling you must go heavy. You must work out with heavy weights. Heavy doesn't mean 100 pounds, 200 pounds. Whatever is heavy for you, you're going to have your own max effort lift. You're going to have your own maxes, right? And you can work from those maxes, right? Your 90% and 95% will be different than mine in certain lifts because I lift more or less than you, right? With that being said, I still don't like the failure, right? Failure, a true failure is your CNS just going crazy. You cannot lift this thing. It takes your body to recover from that. Uh, I think from like Eastern European training and coming from there, like you don't really, there's not much teaching about failure or as far like accepting it, right? You want to avoid it, right? You want to prep yourself. You want to do everything that failure, that max effort, that everything is going to get out of you. That has to come on the day that's important, right? Failing and going super crazy and doing PRs at training, it's not the route I think I was taught of, and that's not something I do, right? Like my training is a heavy, but I don't, and I set PRs, but I don't go 110%. Like I don't like fail necessarily. Like my failures, they are established by technique. Like, because I always talk about it during the side pressure, for example, right? I'm not, I'm stopping side pressure, not necessarily because I don't have the power to go. Like, I can get my wrist out, I can press for another couple sets usually. It just, to me, my technique already not there, so it's me teaching my body how to be there in terrible positions. So there's learning path of my body is learning how to arm wrestle terrible. That's one thing. Two, that's how you catch an injury too. And third, we could talk about the CNS and a failure and how that overloaded you so much that you kind of, I mean, depending who you are, depending your supplementation and age, food, all of those stuff, rest. You might not recover from that too quickly, right? So that's important. So this is why I think I've been taught on not to really fail, and I will fail, I will stop when my technique stops, right? Because especially most of my PRs on arm wrestling table. Arm wrestling table to me is very important. Arm wrestling table is how I arm wrestle, right? Like what I do on there is most likely what I do in an actual tournament, right? I don't care how cheating my biceps curl is. My biceps curl have fucking nothing to do with an arm wrestling tournament. There's no a bar on the table. I don't arm wrestle with both arms. I don't do this on an arm wrestle. Curls have nothing to do with arm wrestling, in my opinion. So that's why if there's no table, I'll go cheat, I'll go do crazy stuff because it doesn't translate. Like when I'm on the table and I'm there set up with the strap or whatever, and I want to make sure that all this is how a referee will want me to, right? So I'm perfect, I'm ideal. My rep starts how referee will want me to start, right? So that's why by the time if I ever get to like some crazy technique to where technique is out and I'm just trying to lift the weight, it should not be on the table, right? Sure, if it's like, my last effort training, like my last day, my last second, it's the most important super action of the life, and we're trying to get this extra 1 pound. Sure, there's excuses and there's time for everything. However, for the most part, I do not fail. I do not. I stop myself once my technique goes because arm wrestling is very technical. There's a lot of technique in arm wrestling. We win because of the power, but we carry and we kind of move along because there's technical aspects as well. So that's why I don't really fail, and that's why I like to conjugate everything. So, you know, some of my training is heavy on volume, some of it is just heavy on just it's just heavy. So doing different stuff, what kind of what they're said, kind of what's comfy. However, I don't do heavy stuff every day, right? Like I know heavy stuff is needed. However, I think volume is needed too. Like it's important to be more endurance-y, right? Like the speed is important. So that I do all those different stuff and try to be comfortable, right? Like conjugate method and pain does teaches you to schedule stuff, to follow the study schedule, because it's so easy to schedule something, get a little bit uncomfortable in pain, and then skip that because, for whatever reason. But really, you should have kept doing that. You should have stuck to your schedule, and then your body will have adapted, right? So that's important. Okay, that's my speech. I do failure training, very low volume of training and high volume of far from failure. Okay. That's a very wrong training programs. Or going to failure for strange and hyper isn't more effective than close to failure. Eh? So what's up, James Clark? How you doing? Failure promotes durability rather than being glass cannon technician. I don't uh, I don't know, man. I don't I don't think failure cannot promote durability. Failure will promote wear and tear because you just failed. A successful lift that's was really hard to do, but you did that. That will promote durability because guess what? Your body just got adapted to the thing that it just lifted. It knows how many nerve ending connection it had to activate for it to recruit the muscles to create a lift. It already established the pathway, right? It knows what happened, and it knows how much effort to put it next time because it's already know the pathway. It knows how many nerve endings to activate and how much muscle you're going to recruit. So you're going to use less effort next time because the path's been established because you just did that. You failing, wear and tear, brother. Overloading, wear and tear, wear and tear. I don't think there's much durability. I think you can, yeah. There's something. There's a what you're saying there. There's something I figure what you're saying about like going heavier and overloading, but failure and overloading, that's not exactly the same, right? You can overload and load, whatever the weight and the thing it is that you're doing with, and still take that pressure, take that weight on you and not necessarily fail, right? Like uh, you know, technical isometrics can be an overload, right? Because you're trying to move something that's not movable. That's as overload as it can get, right? You put so much weight on this object that it cannot be removed, right? And that's gonna overload you, and then you trying to attempt that might build a durability for sure, because you're gonna get used to that unmovable shit. My bad. Failure of form, failure of Rome. Yeah, a range of motion. Yeah. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. It's building my thumb. It's building my thumb pretty well. Oh well, that's good. Emiliano Osorio. I guess I'm assuming. Are you kind of young? Because I think I started arm wrestling younger, and I didn't do anything specific for my hands and thumbs, but I just like grippers. I like grip stuff. I like pinch grips. I like doing all this stuff. And that I think that eventually gave me the good base that my hand try to grow bigger from that point. I mean, I was in sports all my life. Like I never was not an active kid for sure. Like I've been working out all my life. However, like getting into arm wrestling through the grip stuff and all that and doing a little bit of things, I think it did give me like a good base of having my hands a little bigger or them wanting to grow, I think a little bit. But I think it had to be due because I kind of did it, you know, a little bit young. Drop sets is a form of failure lifting. Kind of, I think the call one yours here is kind of right that we are talking about fail in form versus fail in range of motion, right? Because like yeah, drop sets don't have to be that crazy to where you are still lifting it, right? You just kind of you are dropping the weight to where you cannot lift it no more. You get to the burn. That's a little bit different subject too, because you technically it's volume versus getting the burn feeling and getting the cortisol. So it's like, where do you stop during the burn too, right? And then that goes back to the whole theory of what's the doctor's name that passed away? Russian dude that was promoting all this different training and stuff, and he promoted like intermittent circuit training, how you burn like 1,000 calories in an hour. But most of his stuff, it really came down to training under the time. Like our reps, and they're like whenever you say like, "Hey, do this for this many sets and reps," it's really just a dumb way of saying how much pressure you need because your muscles and everything technically supposed to be it's all growing under the time it's under the pressure. Not it doesn't your body. I guess your body doesn't know how many reps it did, but knows how much time it's been under the pressure. So that's why those things change or whatever the hell. Um. So yeah, that goes back to I think the drop set for a fail. I feel like if you there's a time. There's more time than there's reps, right? Whenever we're talking about doing something to your body, it's more we're talking about the time when it how long it takes to get the burn feeling. Do we stop at the burn feeling? Do we accept it? You know, all those little things. Is that a failure? Is it not failure? So it goes a little bit deeper into that, like all that bullshit. I have 3 years in the sport. I have 31. Oh, okay. So you know, no, you're a little older. So, but okay. So it's still good to know that your body is transforming into arm wrestling because of that. Okay, that's not what I was expecting, but still interesting. Forearms and hands are easier to train because they recover so quickly, usually daily. Yes, however, my suggestion will be try to kill your forearm with heavy weight because like that's a good different. That's how you know you had a good workout. That's guys, life hack. If you don't know if your forearm workout was good or not, if you've never been to arm wrestling tournament, you don't know what it feels like the next day as far as your forearm pump. Like your forearms are sore for a couple of days. You can't do it at the gym. You can, you can, and that's how you know. Like if you did all that work and you're so pumped, you're so heavy, you get so crazy, and then the next day your forearms are sore, you know you did something. You know you woke them up because forearms are hard to wake up, right? We use them every day. They need a lot of volume. They need a lot of weight. They need all this little stuff. So it's like, oh, hey, we finally doing something. You've been doing something every day, twice a day. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. What's happening? Once again, hi to James Clark. Hey, James, is that my picture on your profile? Did I took that or no? If yes, I'm a beast. Um. Corey, there's Emiliano, Cole One Years, um, Josh Miller, Phil Woody, everybody, thank you for being here. Sorry, we didn't have like I don't know. I think we talked about good side pressure stuff here and there, and I update you guys in advance. So once again, I have a super match this Saturday with Max Copperman. You can watch it on Robert Kelly's streaming services. I will be promoting it everywhere. So if you want to see the match, just go to any one of my social media. You'll find a link for this match on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. And February 1st, Travis Bagent is coming to Florida. If you have not seen Travis in Florida, that's your time. February 1st, maybe even January 31st. Uh, come hang out in North Florida. We'll have a good time. Thank you guys, and I'll see you the next one. I don't have a jumper's thumb, but it is pretty long. Thank you guys. See you the next one.